Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bandits Show. Took a week off whilst we was finishing up Movember stuff last week, but we're back, and the best way to start is to jump right back into the power rankings. Got quite a shuffle up this week. At number 10, I have got the Miami Dolphins making their way back in. This was probably a toss-up between quite a few teams at the number 10 spot. And I think some personal bias leaked into it, but the Dolphins have made their way back into the top 10. At number 9, I have the Cleveland Browns, currently sitting at 8-4 on the year, I believe it is, or 8-3. They just keep doing the right things. They are limiting Baker Mayfield's throwing attempts, running the ball more, which is basically what this team should be doing, and it's winning them games. They have one of the best running back tandems in the league, and I think they match up quite well with a lot of teams. They're playing the Titans this week, and that should be a really interesting game, a very run-centric game. Number 8, making their way back into the list, I have the Green Bay Packers after humiliating the Chicago Bears. Still not sold on that defense. I think they're going to have a really tough time against the Eagles because the Eagles have got a very good up-in-your-face, smash-mouth defense, and it seems to be what Rodgers struggles against. However, I will admit that the Eagles' offense isn't exactly doing much good, but apparently they get Zach Ertz back this week, so that should add another interesting element. Bringing Carson Wentz's favourite target back to the team. At number 7, moving down quite a few spots, is probably the most frustrating team in the league at the minute, is the Rams. The beating the teams people have them pegged to lose against and losing to the teams that they probably should beat at this point. Now, Jared Goff seems to be a big problem, turning the ball over a lot, and Sean McVay actually called him out on that this week, and that's very uncommon for Sean McVay to do. But I do still trust them. They do still have the best defense in the NFC. They're ranked basically first or second in all categories. There's not much you can argue with. They just need to sort out the turnover problem, and they'll win more games. Although San Francisco are definitely on the rise, and they could make a significant playoff push in the last few weeks, especially considering the weakness of out of the teams that are already sort of in the playoffs, or would be if it ended today, the season. The weakness of the teams outside it, they could make a significant push towards the playoffs. And then at number 6, I have the Buffalo Bills. Now, this was a toss-up between number 5 and number 6. I could have very easily swapped these two teams out. At least I believe in my mind I could have. Buffalo seem to have a bit more of an inconsistent defense, like I mentioned a few weeks ago. Their offense is still good. Josh Allen's still doing quite well this year. But the game against the Chargers defense isn't that good, and they probably should have put the Chargers away quite quickly, but somehow failed to do that. Bit weird, but I think Buffalo, I would watch Buffalo this week for falling into a trap game. They've done it a few times this season, and just watch, because they'll be focused on the Pittsburgh game coming up in a few weeks. So I'd definitely just keep an eye on that game. Might be a lot closer than some people think. And then we get into the top 5. So number 5 is the Seattle Seahawks, who I'm not ready to fully buy into yet again, just because of the whole one-score games things. Not too sold on it, but they've seemed to have sorted out their defense. They have good pass rush. And in turn, they're having better pass rushes than sorted out the secondary. They do seem to be playing a lot better. They're getting the running backs back. And whenever the Seahawks can run, they're a much, much better team. And the Seahawks could very easily, I think, move up again. This is just, the Seahawks are figuring stuff out when they need to figure stuff out. It's the right time to sort of get in the rhythm and make a playoff and Super Bowl push at the end of the year. At number 4, I have the Tennessee Titans after they put a spanking on the Colts, who were widely regarded as possibly the best defense in the AFC for a while. They're quite high up in a lot of categories. It's just, stat wise, and they absolutely just destroyed them in all angles of the game. And obviously, you can't sort of get past Derrick Henry's performance. 3 touchdowns, carrying the workload. This is the part of the season where Derrick Henry starts to get more into it. Especially if he's going to be playing in outdoor stadiums. It's cold, and then you've got this big 6-foot giant running at you. He's a hard man to tackle when it's warm, but he's going to be a lot harder to tackle when it's cold. Now, this is where my list for the week gets interesting, because at number 3, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've moved the Steelers down a spot. I'm really not sold on them. They're probably the worst 11-0 team I've seen. There's not much I can say about them yet. I will go into more detail on them as my main topic for the day. And so that would mean that now, jumping over the Steelers, I have the Saints jumping in at the number 2 spot. I think the Saints are a much more complete team than we was ready to give them credit for at the start of the year. The Saints have turned the season around after the first couple of weeks. They've now won 7 straight. Is it 7 or 8 straight? They're doing it with a backup quarterback. I understand the whole situation with the Broncos, but the Broncos don't have a defense Broncos have a defense that is nothing to laugh at. The Broncos defense did hold them quite close for a while, but they obviously weren't scoring on offense, and it all sort of caught up to them. Then we're going to have to go number 1, and number 1 stays the same as it has been, I think, every single week that I've done this, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs, who are now just making it look way too easy to beat people. They look bored. They look like the Golden State Warriors in the NBA when they were winning 73 games a year, and when Kevin Durant joined the team, and they were just bored. There was no urgency. They just went out there and destroyed teams without an effort. And that's the point that it's getting to with Kansas. So I think I would favour Kansas by probably a touchdown over every team in the league except for the Saints and the Steelers, where I'd probably favour them by at least a field goal. But yeah, so that's the Bandits Show power rankings that would be us going into week 13. Number 10, we have the Dolphins. Number 9, the Browns. 8, Packers. 7, Rams. 6, Bills. 5, Seahawks. 4, Titans. 3, Steelers. 2, Saints. 1, Chiefs.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe for more content from us, and check out all of our social media links down in the description: Spotify, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Remember to watch all the other content on the Bandits Show, and see you next time.